Welcome everybody to Friday Night Smackdown here in Mobile, Alabama. And we are starting off with King of the Ring action. I'm not quite sure if this man's got a King of the Ring tournament matchup. Actually, now I can think about it. I was going to say there's a few probably reasons, but I was more going to point to the fact that he attacked a man. Actually, no, he got attacked last week, I guess. But he injured a man last week, so I worry for his opponent here tonight. And we already know who that is, but we'll show you in just a second.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan werewolf, Fatu.
But like I said, we already know who is taking on Jacob Fatu because it was told to us last week. It is the one, the only. It is Big Jim.
And his opponent from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 251 pounds, Jimmy Uso.
Well, before we get to some of the details and this matchup, I'll show you what's in store for you tonight. Of course, we're going to hear from Candice LeRae after she attacked Thea last week. Also, Michin, Dakota, Queen of the Ring action. Also, main event steel cage match, Rhea versus Becky Lynch. But right now, King of the Ring matchup, Jacob Fatu versus Jimmy Uso. Anyways, without further ado, let's get this underway with, shall we? Jeez, Jacob Fatu firing out the blocks instantly. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure how this man got into this match, but then again, I'm sure Breeze probably fears him. Of course, Breeze, the SmackDown general manager. I wouldn't blame him to be fearful of Jacob Fatu. Jeez, getting the springboard already. And you know, Solo's connection with The Rock and Jacob's connection with Solo, so that gives a branch of Jacob to The Rock. Jeez, it's interesting because of course Jimmy Uso took on Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. So Sikoa beat Jimmy Uso, banished him from the Bloodline. Jimmy's now taking on a member of the new Bloodline in Jacob Fatu. Jeez, Jimmy does not want to get close to Jacob. I don't blame him. Oh no, bam! Jeez, Jacob realised after the second shot that Jimmy wasn't coming close. So had to wait, bait him in, and now just unleashing on Jimmy now. Jeez, just going to absolute town. But like I mentioned, I was going to say he attacked Kevin Owens last week. He didn't. Owens attacked Jacob Fatu. Jeez, goes flying. Jeez. Oh, that was a heavy landing there, right on the lower back of Jimmy. But Jacob was the one that tossed Kevin Owens off the blooming office building, that backstage back of the arena last week. Jeez. Oh, jeez, what a driver right at Jimmy Uso. Jimmy's father knows a bit of 102 about that kind of driver. But Jacob is not done with Jimmy Uso quite yet. Jeez. The one thing Jacob definitely did do was he put the attack at the Backlash where Jacob and Solo attacked Ilya Dragunov and Kevin Owens I was going to say mid-match, quite close to the end of the match. Kevin Owens might have beaten Ilya Dragunov if it wasn't for Solo and Jacob's interference. But it's now been proven that, shown that Solo wants to take on Ilya Dragunov for the King of the Ring, for the United States title at King and Queen of the Ring. Because he wants to do the thing that his predecessor, that he last failed to do before taking on The Rock at WrestleMania and failed in the Tribal Combat matchup, but he was a bit battered from said matchup. So, it's hard to say specifics and fairnesses sometimes, but nonetheless, he wanted to do what Roman Reigns could not do just before Mania, and that was take on Ilya Dragunov and beat him. So Solo is looking to beat him. Jeez, at WrestleMania. Jeez, Fatu is just going to town right now. Jimmy Uso, jeez. Oh, Jimmy's inside's got to be in agony. Jeez. But you know what I mean. Oof. So yeah, Solo. It's been made official. He is taking on Ilya Dragunov at King and Queen of the Ring. That's the first match we have official. So I guess that gives Jacob the chance to go after the world title, or in this case, the WWE Universal title, currently held by Finn Balor. But we'll have to find out in a few weeks if he's going to be cleared to wrestle at King and Queen of the Ring. And so we'll have to vacate the title or not. Jeez, just firing right at Jimmy Uso there. But of course, the winner of King and Queen of the Ring will face the world champion of their brand at SummerSlam. And of course, the Tongans are your WWE Tag Team Champions. Jeez, Jacob Fatu, what a headbutt. I think he's just busted open Jimmy Uso with that headbutt. Jeez, that's how hard Jacob Fatu headbutts people. And this is Samoan to Samoan. Jimmy Uso's got a tough head. Because Samoans just seem to have that naturally. You know, there's always there's one thing you don't do to a Samoan in a wrestling match, and that's headbutt him. But Jacob Fatu just headbutted Jimmy Uso, a Samoan, and busted him open. Sure, he's Samoan on Samoan, but still, I think that's just proving it that bit more. And Jacob Fatu now acknowledging Solo Sikoa, and jeez, gets that hip attack right to Jimmy. Jimmy's not been doing good in this matchup at all. And now the moonsault, jeez, right to Jimmy Uso, goes for the cover. 1, 2. Hang on a minute. Jacob just let go of that. Jacob wants to do more. Jacob yet again. Jeez, and another moonsault. Jeez, sending a message there. Jeez. 1, 2, 3. Jeez. That was not looking good for Jimmy at all. Jeez. Jacob Fatu went crazy in that matchup. Jeez. Nobody's safe with this man in the King of the Ring tournament. We could be finding out the new WWE Universe Champion if he continues down like this. Injuring Kevin Owens, beating Jimmy like this in this strong fashion. I fear for whoever's going to take him on next. Of course, we found out a few people going on already. We found Cody Rhodes last week. It's going to be interesting. Maybe Cody might be the one taking on Jacob Fatu. Who knows? Who knows?
Here is your winner, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
In the meantime, though, I guess congratulations to Jacob Fatu. I mean, I've been saying some things about him so far. Hang on a minute, what's going on here? I don't want to piss him off, but clearly he's already pissed off. Or maybe it's not. Maybe this is how Jacob Fatu works. Jeez, and probably should try for him like Kevin Owens did. Jeez, Jimmy Uso's just gone right into the stairs, so maybe this is sending a message. Jeez, to the old Bloodline member. This is what Jacob Fatu does to family. I guess in some way, or family that's been since banished from the Bloodline. Jeez, what's Jacob Fatu doing? He's just tricked the stairs, now that chair, and now he's got a blooming sledgehammer. Jeez, whoa, just carnage all over there. Jeez, someone please stop this. I mean, I think anybody's just too scared at this point. Jeez, just from Jacob Fatu on the power that Solo Sikoa has with the Rock being in the Rock's pocket. But jeez, Jacob Fatu emphatically starting out this SmackDown, just like last SmackDown as well when he took out Kevin Owens. Who can stop this man? You all want to know why I attacked Thea last week? It's simple, really. You would all rather cheer for some hyper child that's too delusional to realise her own best friend just used her to get a title, and now that she's going into the singles division, her friend is nowhere to be seen. Because she doesn't want to deal with Thea anymore. I don't blame her. I've grown tired of people like Thea too. Doesn't mean I'm not going to put down JC too. It's nothing personal, JC. Just seemingly what a veteran has to do in the sport to get notice and opportunity around here, and more just to strike a blow at Thea more than it is you. Because I am going to be the one to win Queen of the Ring, and I'll take that title from that bland Barbie with the crappy catchphrases at SummerSlam. Breeze, come on, that match last week, that was Dom's fault we lost. We were doing so well until Dom got rolled up near instantly. Me and Carlito, we are a tag team champion contender team. So give us Pretty Deadly 2-on-2 tonight. But it's clear you all seem to have issues with each other. Even some inner faction issues. But, you know, that does give me an idea. You know, we do need new contenders for the tag team champions. And you say that you're tag team champion contender teams? Why not then? Tonight, you two can go on 2-on-2 against Pretty Deadly, and the winners can be the #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. You know, and it should also convince you lot to play by the rules too. That's very tall of you, Breeze. Well, lots happened there in that little bit there. We found out why Candice LeRae attacked Thea Hale, and well, we've just been told we were going to get a tag team title contender match scheduled here for tonight. Things are shaking up. Anyways, let's get into the Queen of the Ring tournament matchup.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Fontana, California, Michin.
Of course, this is the first round. Michin told Tiffany right to her face last week. She's going to win this, and she is coming for Tiffany Stratton. But it's not going to be easy for Michin here tonight. She has got a very difficult challenger ahead. Somebody that was at WrestleMania when the Elimination Chamber. Do not count out Dakota.
From Auckland, New Zealand, Dakota Kai.
Well, as Dakota is making her way down to her ringside, let's remind you what we still got in store for you tonight, including the match has just been made official, Pretty Deadly, Judgment Day later on tonight. And don't forget, another situation that's kind of like that. We've got a steel cage match, Rhea and Becky, Becky Lynch, but right now, Michin, Dakota Kai, one-on-one. And the kind of reason why I kind of mean like that is, Breeze pointed out how everybody seems to hate everybody between those, that like Seth Rollins and Allies versus Judgment Day. Everybody seems to hate everybody. Even some inner faction issues between, that we've definitely seen go between, say, between Balor, I'd say Balor, JD and Carlito, kind of more against Dom and Damien, and then Rhea seems to try to be playing Peacemaker a little bit, but I don't know, either way. Dakota Kai, Michin, jeez, boof. Dakota Kai coming back to some good ways, just decided that she needs to get away from Bayley, and she seems to have turned the leaf over a little bit, jeez. On the up and up, as these two now going into a clinch, these two been decent friends in the past. But this is not what this is about. This is not about friends. This is not about enemies, really, either. It's just about getting to Queen of the Ring, well, King and Queen of the Ring, in the Queen of the Ring final, so you can take on the WWE Women's Champion at SummerSlam, which at the current time is Tiffany Stratton, but she's still got to get through 3 pay-per-views and all the Smackdowns in between each of those and after to get there. Right now, of course, King and Queen of the Ring, then Clash of the Castle, then Money in the Bank, and then it is the road to SummerSlam. So it's not going to be an easy stint for Tiffany Stratton to even be able to take on the winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament if the winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament ends up being a SmackDown superstar. But you know, one of those things. We've had many matches so far. Of course, we have one on each show at the minute. That's how we're doing it. Of course, our one Queen of the Ring tournament match and one King of the Ring tournament matchup. Of course, I had Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria last week on SmackDown. What a hell of a match that was. Roxanne Perez walked away with the win. She's on very high momentum right now. It's going to be difficult to topple her. These two have a bit of a stare down now. Bit of respect showing between these two women. Jeez. Oof. There's definitely some questionable allegiances between the OC. Like I was mentioning, Dakota Kai seems to be going back into some good ways. It's questionable with the OC. I know AJ Styles and the Good Brothers are not necessarily on the goodest of path, but Michin hasn't been doing too bad. Jeez, gets that splash, you know. They're more saying to be together because they're friends more than an agreement of how to do things in the minute. So I don't see the OC out here. Maybe Michin wants to do this on her own. So maybe I'm wrong about that. I guess we'll have to find out as time progresses. Nonetheless, Michin going right after Dakota Kai. Gets that bulldog, jeez, right to Dakota Kai's face on the outside. That is the street fighting style that Michin likes to bring. Jeez, she likes to brawl in on the outside. But Dakota Kai not going to take too kindly to this and gives her a DDT right back. Jeez. Dakota Kai going to give everything that Michin is going to give to her. She's going to take everything that she's going to give Michin right back. What Michin's been given to her, and planning on doing more so. So she can win this matchup here tonight. Dakota Kai needs to get back in the ring. Jeez. That's one way to do it. Jeez, kicks Michin halfway across the ring. Jeez, goes for the cover. 1. Ooh, kick out there by Michin. Like I said, Roxanne Perez was the winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament last week. We know at some point Candice LeRae will take on Thea Hale. So then finding out next week, that'll be pretty much the SmackDown situation sorted. But of course, the winner of the SmackDown side of the tournament has to face the winner of the Raw side of the tournament. Which, of course, we know that Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan is happening on the next episode of Raw, so it'll be interesting to see who wins that one. Of course, Asuka won the one on the past Raw. She just beat Chelsea Green. And then, of course, Naomi beat Shayna Baszler. What is going on here? Jeez, it's the WWE Women's Champion. She's clearly maybe felt a bit threatened by what Michin was saying. She hasn't taken too kindly to it. And this will give Dakota Kai the opportunity to take advantage of the situation, but doesn't seem like Dakota Kai is doing anything, and Tiffany's realised. She's well pissed. Dakota Kai's not taking advantage of this. Dakota Kai just allowing this to be. Tiffany's well pissed. Oh, geez, nonetheless, geez, alright. How are we going to do this? All right, into a double clinch. Jeez, Soul breaks out of it. Both. Again, he's not missing with the kicks again. Jeez. These two definitely seem to be very well matched. Jeez, and they're definitely trying to keep this fair. Jeez, Dakota Kai gets that kick right to the chest by Michin. I think she's looking to give her one right back. These two women looking to trade blows. Jeez. Like I said, it's been a very fair, even matchup between these two women. Either of these two women could walk away with the win here tonight. Like I said, Michin's got a goal set in mind. But Dakota Kai, you know, she's got plenty of what she wants to do herself, I'm sure. Like I said, she was in the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania after winning the Elimination Chamber to earn that spot. Took on Bayley and Io Sky. They were very much, of course, Bayley and Io still had their issues, but geez, nonetheless. Oh, Dakota Kai is looking to space out now that now she's on a separate brand to them too. So looking to go to the WWE Women's Championship instead. Maybe we'll be successful in that one where she was not with the Women's World Championship, but I guess we'll have to see as time progresses. You got to get past Michin first. Jeez, boof. And a possible Roxanne Perez at some point. We don't know. Depends on how the bracket situation goes out. Anyways, Dakota Kai with the Goto kick. Stunning down Michin. Goes to cover. I think Michin's busted open. I think from that train of blows, maybe two. Kick out there by Michin. Of course, pretty close to the ropes as well. So, not maybe the best position for Dakota Kai, but nonetheless, Michin able to get out nonetheless anyways. Sometimes even if you're down like that and you're a little stunned, even if you are close to the ropes, you just won't notice and you just instinctively just try to kick out, even if you could just use less effort to just pull your hand like 2 centimeters to the right. You know what I mean? But geez, Dakota Kai just kicks the face off Michin and she's looking to go back for it a second time. Jeez. Bam! Jeez, I mean, she did a few little ones prior to that, but that one was a lot bigger anyways. Dakota Kai going into that cover on Michin. 1, 2. Kick out there by Michin. I mean, sure, I mean, Dakota Kai didn't really take advantage of the distraction, but I feel like it has affected Michin to some extent because this match was relatively even, and seemingly that maybe it's gone to Michin's head a little bit. Tiffany Stratton distracting her just clearly fueled her a bit of rage or something in Dakota Kai. Especially she doesn't want to take full advantage of that. She's gonna, if she wants to win the matchup, she can't just like, oh, let's take a tea break for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So she's got to do something. So she's just kind of benefiting from it at this point instead of taking advantage of it, I guess. Jeez, Michin now gets that forearm and jeez, oh, combo, bam. Bayley kick, jeez. I mentioned the OC earlier. Of course, AJ Styles was successful against Cody Rhodes last week in that King of the Ring tournament matchup. We just saw Jacob Fatu win earlier on tonight. Oof, things are heating up in those situations. We've got Obafemi and Omos on Raw, which will be very interesting. Of course, Randy Orton advanced over Chad Gable. And hold on a minute, Michin wants me Dakota Kai to protect her neck, or maybe not. Dakota should have protected your neck. Wu-Tang Clan style. Anyways, jeez, covers 2. Kick out there by Dakota Kai. Jeez, and of course, John Cena won that hellish match against Karrion Kross on Raw in that main event. Jeez, what a match that was. And Kross definitely pushed John Cena, but I think he needed to do it. Cena needed to hear everything he heard and needed to feel everything he felt. Karrion Kross was able to do that for him. Jeez, what a moonsault, jeez. And I'm talking about protect your neck, protect your hips. Jeez. Anyways, goes to the cover. 1, 2. Kick out there by Dakota Kai. Michin getting increasingly frustrated now. Like I said, the interference from Tiffany Stratton, the blood rain down her face. Jeez, what a knee shot right to the face. That was vicious. I think that's the frustration bubbling up from Michin. Like I said, he's got well, I don't know how friendly friends they were, but I know they've done stuff in the past. Jeez, Michin goes for that 450 splash. Jeez. 1, 2. Oh, Dakota Kai still manages to kick out. Michin getting increasingly more frustrated. Dakota Kai is just trying to get out of harm's way and has done so, at least momentarily. It's just forced Michin to have to go to the outside to pick her up. To bring her back in. Dakota Kai trying to fight to get back into the ring, but Michin's not having it. Jeez, Michin getting back in the ring now. What she's got in store for her opponent here tonight. Jeez, Dakota Kai gets it over to the midsection. Just clearly too much time has passed since the last attack. Just Dakota Kai playing that very smartly. Just exerting the effort as Michin's just trying to get her back into the ring. Dakota Kai played that to perfection almost. Jeez. And now Dakota Kai just unleashing these kicks. And bam, right to the face again. Jeez, right to Michin. Bam, and another kick. Taking off Michin's head nearly. Jeez. Oof, who's going to walk out of the way with this one? Who's going to advance to the Queen of the Ring tournament? Of course, this is the first matchup. We will have a Smackdown and Raw semi-finals, Smackdown and Raw finals, and then the final itself. So you could say that technically the Smackdown semi-final is the quarter-final. You could argue, and then the semi-final, and then the final. Either way, you get what I mean. Jeez, either way, Dakota Kai, wolf, Jeez, just teeing off now. Bam! Gets that kick right to the chest there of Michin. Dakota Kai is in control of this match here. I think maybe it's definitely smart to do so. I think maybe she's planning on putting this match up to rest. Jeez, kicks in the midsection. Dakota Kai looking for the Cairo. Practor. Right to Michin. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Dakota Kai walks away with a victory here tonight.
Here is your winner, Dakota Kai.
Well, Michin's plans haven't gone great. I mean, I feel like you've got to at least give at least 1% assistance there by Tiffany Stratton, but Dakota Kai getting the winners respectfully. She could after the situation. Hang on a minute. I think Tonga has just gone to go attack Il Dragunov, and now here's Tonga. Jeez, coming in. Jeez, maybe he got a little left behind. I don't know. Either way, Il Dragunov. Jeez, just fighting off Tonga lower. Tonga now looking to just try and save his brother. I think maybe the Tonga lower, like maybe just the Bloodline in general, could go send attack Il Dragunov, at least more specifically the Tongans. Jeez, but Tonga lower clearly got there first. Jeez, balls with a chop block there. Here we just too focused on Tonga there. Of course, they wrestled last week. Where's Tama going? I have no idea. And Tonga lower seems to be dragging Il Dragunov wherever they're going. Jeez. Hopefully we can get some security to stop that fight. I don't know what the Tongans have planned for Ilya Dragunov, but I know one thing is Ilya Dragunov is a tough son of a bitch. So I'm sure he would do the damnedest to survive whatever they'll put him through. And I'm sure if anybody can, it's him. I was going to say, maybe though, Jacob Fatu might be somebody that might be able to attest to that. I don't know, and say maybe he is. The way he's been dangerous as of late, I worry for our SmackDown division here. You know. Anyways. Next matchup.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 400 pounds. JD McDonagh and Carlito, the Judgment Day.
Well, JD, Carlito going down by themselves. No Dominic this time to make it a 6-man. Will that make a difference? I don't know, but they're taking on former undisputed tag team champions, so it's still not going to be easy.
357 pounds, Elton Prince and Kid Wilson, pretty deadly.
Well, it's pretty deadly. They seem to come out with some backup. They have the challenger for the WWE Universal Championship, Seth Rollins. Well, over a Gears match, I don't know. But talking of matches, the King, Queen of the Ring, Solo Sikoa, Ilya Dragunov, United States Championship. Of course, still that Brawl earlier. Before we remind you of that, of course, there was also a steel cage match. Main eventing, kind of tied to this match a little bit because it stems from the same rivalry. Well, looks like Carlito starting out for the Judgment Day. Looks like Kit Wilson starting out for pretty deadly. Let's get this underway with, shall we? Jeez, let's go. Oh, well, Carlito, what a shot right to the face. Jeez, took down Kit Wilson. I think Kit was expecting that one. Jeez. Done again. Jeez, Carlito. Looking like they really are proving they're a tag team champion contender team right now, I guess. Jeez. Kick out there by Kit Wilson. I mean, if he's taken down Kit Wilson with one shot on multiple occasions already, jeez, and sending him out to the outside, jeez. Carlito controlling this matchup. That is cool indeed. Jeez, oof, tags in JD McDonagh. Kit Wilson's finally made his way back into the ring, and JD McDonagh taking advantage of Kit Wilson having to get in the ring. Jeez, just unleashing right now on Kit Wilson, even let him like drop into the floor, just hitting him with more. Jeez, what a combination. Finally going into the coven after all that. Jeez, kick out there by Kit. Jeez, 2 count already. Jeez, Judgment Day is going ham right now, but Elton Prince not taking all this too kindly, but then it escapes after attacking him. So JD just going to go flying and nearly took out Rollins as well. Jeez, Rollins laughing at what JD just headbutted him. Oh, the referee's on down. Kit and jeez, JD McDonagh the stomps to the midsection. Jeez. I mean, oof. Of course, there was a 6-man tag last week, which is kind of what this stemmed from. Jeez, JD just took out Elton Prince, took out Rollins. Jeez, Judgment Day's on fire right now. I mean, it was a 6-man tag, including Dominic was part of the Judgment team and Seth Rollins was part of Pretty Freaking Deadly. I mean, a 6-man tag, which is, realistically, I think was Judgment Day's match to win, considering how battered Rollins was after his Gauntlet match against the Judgment Day members at Backlash to try and keep his Universal Contender tournament, the Universal Contender rematch clause, because of course he lost the WrestleMania to Finn Balor, and it's kind of reminiscent of when Finn Balor had to defend his title runs to defend something of his And Balor cost Smackdown the Survivor Series stuff. Jeez, nearly. Oh, Kit Wilson nearly stole it just like they did against with Dominic. Jeez. So, you know, of course, we've been going to that. And so, Kit Wilson gets that crossbody from the middle rope. Elton Prince finally getting back up. I think he's feeling battered and he hasn't even been the legal competitor in this matchup. Nonetheless, the final legal man to be added into this matchup now is Elton Prince. Technically, he's only Kit Wilson to be tagged to have everybody be tagged into the match, but not necessarily. Carlito kicking out very quickly there. Judgment Day's got a lot to prove right now, and they are proving it well at the minute. Geez, Kit Wilson gets that shot right to the face though. And Elton Prince taking advantage. Still can't quite count out Pretty Deadly just yet. Like I said, former undisputed tag team champions, and then lost one set title, but kept the other one for a while. I believe up until Payback, which is the pay-per-view after SummerSlam last season. Which, funnily enough, they lost to Judgment Day, being Finn Balor and Damian Priest at that time. The tag that went to go do that. Who then, they dropped it to Nathan Fraser and Axiom. Jeez, well, kind of was part of this allyship with Rollins. Because, of course, Nathan Fraser was taught by Seth Rollins to an extent, and Fraser and Axiom, a tag team. We haven't seen too much of them since Backlash. I haven't seen them at all since Backlash. When they were in that four-way for the WWE Tag Team Championships, weren't successful at that. So yeah, but it's many more been pretty deadly on the game right now. The ones that they got into this feud a little earlier than Supersonic Duo did. So it looks like they might be the ones finishing it out. Jeez, we've also got a steel cage match later tonight. Rhea and Becky Lynch as kind of part of this feud, and Rhea just kind of exploded after Rollins injured Balor a few weeks ago. Jeez, JD. What's JD doing? Jeez, I think he's just teasing out to Prince at this point. Jeez, takes down Kit Wilson. And now JD. Oh, but Elton Prince looking to take advantage. Jeez. Oof. I mean, JD's good, but I don't think he's that good. We have to do all this, but Judgment Day's done a hell of a job right now. You got the vicious, you got the manipulative. He's been called like a surgeon in the ring, the way he can attack limbs sometimes. Hell, he was kind of partially the main reason for Nathan Fraser's leg injury for a few weeks. It took him off the WrestleMania card. Elton Prince gets that splash. I mean, it was Balor also helped, but JD did the main damage. Jeez, one kick out there. But he also got the veteran experience of Carlito, the veteran of the Judgment Day. Jeez, Carlito, wolf. He's taking out Kit Wilson while he's there. That's why he's the veteran, I guess. Jeez, Jaden McDonagh gets that choke kick right to the face of Elton Prince. But, you know, either way, Jaden McDonagh looking to pick up Elton Prince for the Island's call. Right to Elton Prince, goes to the cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Ooh, kick out there by Elton Prince. Like I mentioned about Supersonic Duo going for the WWE Tag Team Champions. It would have been interesting if that was, they did win said matchup, and this was still the way things were going. It'd be interesting to see Pretty Deadly take on Supersonic Duo, I think. You know, we've kind of got some situations like that on the Queen of the Rings tournament as well, with the possibility of Oscar winning the Queen of the Ring and taking on Io Sky, the Women's World Champion. They've been kind of allies at the minute. Geez, so it could be an interesting situation like that, but it is not. It is the Tongans who are very dangerous right now. But a little focus on Ilya Dragon, or maybe one of these two teams can take advantage of that. Jeez. Kit Wilson breaks that pin up in time. He's dog Carlito. Kit Wilson's ducked in, but not that time, but he cancelled it that time. Jeez, but another the third time's a charm for Carlito there. He's very cool indeed. Carlito, whoa. Jeez, there we go, jeez. I think Elton Prince was kind of confused what Carlito was doing there. Whatever it's done, it's worked. But not now, because Elton Prince, jeez. Gets that collation, jeez. Elton Prince gets that uppercut. But Carlito wisely going up into the corner. He knows Elton Prince likes that elbow drop from the top rope. I think that's looked like what Elton Prince was going for. It looked like he was going to head to the top rope, but jeez, Elton Prince takes him down with a neck breaker, but seemingly taking himself down with in the process, whatever. Jeez, but now recovering, jeez. And now just runs to tagging Kit Wilson. Now everybody has been tagged into the matchup, and every combination has been made. I think the combination maybe would actually have we had JD and Elton? Yeah, we've had JD and Elton, haven't we? Yeah. I don't know if that was the marker. We had every combination, but I know we definitely had it by now. Everybody's been tagged in. Everybody's been made a legal participant. Jeez. Oh, and a shot right to the face. It's always nice when we get all those stats filled out. You know, just keep things interesting. Make sure we've really got our going for tag matches. You know, we get every combination. Everybody's been tagged in. Everybody's been league competitive. Of course, everybody has to be competitive for everybody. Tagged in either way. Nonetheless, Carlito gets that whiplash neck breaker, but right in front of Elton Prince was Carlito. Carlito not thinking that was not too cool. Neither with that one. Elton Prince, jeez. Gets that shot right to the back, jeez. I don't think he was going to go for it. It looked like he went for a close and decided to go for like a forearm strike instead. Either way, Carlito rocks from it. And he's in enemy territory right now, but geez, fine off Kit Wilson nonetheless. Geez, sending Kit back into the ring. But Elton Prince sending Carlito into the ring. I've been very impressed by the Judgment Day's performances tonight. They really are proving exactly what JD McDonagh was saying. About it being Dominic's fault. They are proving to be tag team champion contender teams right now. Jeez, both Elton Prince begged for it. Begged for mercy. JD gave none. And he's not going to give any more now. JD McDonagh locking in this submission. Jeez, and the tap out there while Kim was distracted with Carlito. Jeez. Always won the match there. Jeez.
Here are your winners, JD McDonagh and Carlito, the Judgment Day.
JD McDonagh showing no mercy, or at least not playing to the tactics of Elton Prince, or playing into it or whatever. And it's given him number one contender for the tag team title contender status along with Carlito. I wonder when I'll get that title match, hasn't been. Breeze never said, but hang on a minute, talking of champions, Tiffany Stratton, she's got, is that some mist all over her face? What's going on? Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, what's going on? Well, we saw her earlier on tonight distract Michin. Was this Michin that did this to Tiffany Stratton? What's going on? Can we get some medics for Tiffany, please? She could have some permanent eye damage with all that. What's going on anyways? It's main event time. I don't think it was one of these two women, but like I said, Michin, you could have argued that she was the one that, Tiffany Stratton, and even if Dakota didn't take advantage, she still benefited from it to an extent. So maybe Tiffany did something, I don't know. Did I say maybe Tiffany did something? Maybe Michin did something, sorry. Either way, I know these two would definitely have their issues with Tiffany Stratton, but I think they're too focused on this match here tonight.
Is a steel cage match. Making her way to the ring from Adelaide, Australia, Rhea Ripley.
Well, as Rhea Ripley's making her way down to ringside, Judgment Day was successful about a minute or two ago. Can Rhea Ripley do the same thing and then get the win in this matchup? I guess we'll have to find out shortly. She's got a tough opponent here tonight, so it's going to be difficult to say the very least.
Her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, Becky Lynch.
Well, before we get into the main event of the evening here tonight, let's tell you what we're going to start for you next week. King of the Ring match. Oh, geez, okay. LA Knight, Damian Priest. Damian Priest going to make that very interesting. Core J, Tegan Knox next week. Cool, okay. Candice LeRae taking on Jason Jane. We kind of heard about that earlier on. But right now, Ripley, Becky Lynch, steel cage matchup. Well, that's going to be interesting. With Damian Priest. Of course, Finn Balor, the Universe Champion. If he can stay. Geez, Becky Lynch just trying to get out of here quickly. Geez. I mean, they can escape the cage, but... You know, of course, the steel cage is kind of just to keep these lot contained and keep everybody out because, you know, we've had all kinds of shenanigans. Like I said, this is their third match that these lot have had this season already, one-on-one situation. It's actually their fourth match this season. And yes, we are on the fourth Smackdown and only had one pay-per-view. Their only time not competing against each other on a show that they could was last week where they brawled. Because they competed on the first two Smackdowns and then Backlash as well. Where the first one ended in the first SmackDown match ended in a double count out. Can't happen now that they're in a steel cage. The following week one ended in a disqualification where Rhea Ripley got aggressive, got just pissed off and just whacked Becky Lynch with a chair, which I think was what Becky Lynch was planning on. Which, no disqualification, we are in a steel cage, of course. Though I hear rope breaks is still on for whatever. Rhea Ripley shoves Becky Lynch's face, runs that turnbuckle, making Becky Lynch pay for all this. And of course, at Backlash, because Becky Lynch was able to technically beat Rhea Ripley in that matchup, she got added to the triple threat. So she got added to the match at Backlash because Rhea Ripley won the Women's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania, granted her a women's title opportunity. And she took on Tiffany Stratton, and Becky Lynch got added to it because of beating Rhea Ripley, which is kind of part of the deal. Jeez, Becky Lynch was trying to fight back as Rhea Ripley exposed that turnbuckle and probably plans to use it, but Becky Lynch looking to use it instead. Jeez, sending Rhea Ripley right into it, chest first on that drop kick. But yeah, and then Tiffany Stratton was able to walk away with the win after Rhea Ripley put down Becky Lynch riptide style. Jeez, Becky Lynch looking to use this exposed turnbuckle now though. Have to hold on a minute with the story. Jeez. Oh, Rhea Ripley just Oh, but she's able to stop that one. Clearly got plenty of fire left in her. Geez, sends Becky Lynch right careening against there, but geez. Oof, Becky Lynch. Oh, Rhea Ripley not having any of that, not going into that cage. Rhea Ripley. Geez, she's just looking to dominate Becky Lynch right now, geez. But like I said, she was able to riptide Becky Lynch. Tiffany Stratton chucked Rhea Ripley out of the ring. Prettiest moveset ever to Becky Lynch. Got the 1, 2, 3. Not the first time that Tiffany Stratton Rhea Ripley triple threat matches ended with Rhea Ripley taking out the other person, then Tiffany get rid of Rhea, and then hit the prettiest moveset ever on the person that just got put down by Rhea and pick up the victory, the 1, 2, 3. Not the first time. Charlotte Flair was the other one that Tiffany Stratton beat at WrestleMania. Geez, Becky Lynch getting into that exposed turnbuckle now. But yeah, and like I said, the Brawl last week, things have just boiled down to this point, and we just needed this. Keep the Judgment Day members out. Keep these lot in. No chairs will stop this match from ending. That's just how this thing is going to go. It's going to be great. But they battered the ever-living out of each other in that triple threat match. Possibly match of the night, I think. Just the amount that these two just went to town on each other. You'd forget it was a triple threat match at points. Jeez, Rhea Ripley not able to stop herself that time. Becky Lynch getting that drop across the veteran. Becky Lynch, jeez. I know Becky Lynch is a little more covered up than Rhea Ripley. I think that's the smart play with all the steel. You never know what you can get with all the scrapes and stuff. It's not the funnest, even when you are covered. But, you know what I mean? Either way, Becky Lynch sent Rhea Ripley into that steel cage. Like I said, all that bare skin just been raked down that steel cage. That's not going to be fun for Rhea Ripley. But I think it might just fuel Rhea Ripley's anger at this point. Geez, like I said, there was a bit of a rope break connection there. Clearly, though, it's hard for the referee to see sometimes with the rope break. He's got to make a judgment call. He's got to stay by that door. He's got to make a guess for all this. Jeez, there, Rhea Ripley kicks out there. Not even a 1 count. Rhea Ripley's all fired up. Becky Lynch doesn't quite believe it. 1 there. Jeez, kick out there by Rhea at 1 that time. That's why people go in for multiple pins. Is because sometimes you just exert so much energy on all the pins that you can go for another one and it might end up working out for you. Imagine if the first one was a 2, that next one would have been a 3. You know what I mean? Either way, Rhea Ripley not letting Becky Lynch escape because Becky knows it's going to be difficult to put down Rhea. And she's realising it more and more as this match progresses. Rhea Ripley, though. Okay, they just toss Becky Lynch. Jeez, I think she caught the steel cage there a little bit too. Jeez, Rhea just tossing Becky Lynch around. I never know when Becky Lynch in the ring. When I say woman handle or man handle, Becky Lynch makes it confusing. Nonetheless, 1 kick out there. Becky Lynch just tried to steal this matchup, but Rhea Ripley just not letting that happen. Not even a 2 count there. Not like what happened to Dominic last week. That's 6-man tag. Jeez, Becky Lynch gets that leg drop. Oof. Jeez, and a leg drop there again. Of course, these women faced off a few times last season as well, if I remember correctly. Jeez, hold on, Becky Lynch. She's getting that moonsault. 1 was for the Women's World Championship. Oh no, sorry, just WWE Women's Championship. My apologies. Yeah, that was Night of Champions. Becky Lynch unsuccessful there. After going an avalanche riptide. There was 1 where whoever won got to face Tiffany Stratton first after Tiffany Stratton won the Women's Championship, and then there was 1 after Becky beats Rhea in a no-holds-barred matchup to get that spot to Tiffany Stratton at a later date because Tiffany just believed that Becky Lynch just didn't deserve it. Because Rhea Ripley won that second encounter against Becky Lynch as well. I was talking about Avalanche earlier. I think Rhea Ripley looking for an Avalanche suplex, also known as a superplex. Jeez. Rhea Ripley taking it to Becky Lynch right now. Becky Lynch is feeling it. They're probably feeling the effects of that triple threat match. Backlash just over a week ago now as well. But Becky Lynch looking to get rolled up on Rhea Ripley. 1, 2. Oh, jeez. Honestly, I don't know who's... Jeez, actually, I know who's mad at Rhea Ripley, but I was going to say Becky Lynch is not going to be too happy. As much as she probably want to leave this in the past a little bit, or just more support her husband, I guess, in Seth Rollins. Jeez. I don't think Becky's even got enough energy in right now to just chuck Rhea Ripley over the rope at that point. I think he might be looking for the steal, but just had to drop her. Becky Lynch, jeez, but somehow finding that, but there's a lot of energy to hold a woman on your shoulder like that. I think Becky's feeling the effects of this matchup. But like I said, none of these have been announced for the Queen of the Ring. So, you know, it's one of those things. And we just saw the announcement for the one next week. Cora Jade versus Tegan Nox. So we know the next week's, the week after we Candice LeRae, Thea Hale. So kick out there by Rhea Ripley. That's just by process of elimination. So that means neither of these two have ended up in that Queen of the Ring tournament. And you've only got to guess that it's because of this rivalry. that's kept them out of that Queen of the Ring tournament. And possibly cost them, one of them, if not both of them, an opportunity at wrestling at King and Queen of the Ring. Nonetheless, Becky Lynch looking to try and escape the steel cage right now, but Rhea Ripley, jeez, just stalking Becky Lynch right now. Becky Lynch can see her, and she's just trying to scram, but jeez. Becky Lynch now, jeez, stole. Maybe the rope's a little slippery there. I think Becky Lynch is trying to shake it at least a little bit. She's trying to step. But Becky Lynch is just seemingly struggling to get her footing in a lot of situations. Maybe benefited her momentarily, but not anymore. Rhea Ripley now, jeez, gets that elbow drop off there too now, jeez. Like I said, the rope's definitely going to be slippery. The sweat. Of course, we had an entire show and just trying to balance on it in the steel cage. Jeez, oh, Becky Lynch is being tossed into that cage now. Like I mentioned, Becky could barely get Rhea Ripley past that rope. And Rhea Ripley was just able to just toss her like that. And now Rhea Ripley, she is not done with Becky Lynch right now. Jeez, bashing her into the cage there, jeez. Rhea Ripley just showing off that brutality to Becky Lynch. Has proven why she's the eradicator, jeez. They sent Becky Lynch right into that steel cage there. That was what Becky Lynch, I think, was looking to do earlier to Rhea Ripley. But Becky Lynch, like I said, she is worn out. Jeez, Rhea Ripley looking to pick up Becky Lynch for a powerbomb. Jeez, boof. And powerbomb right back down, jeez. Rhea Ripley been controlling this matchup. But no wonder Becky Lynch is just trying to escape with her. She feels like she just needs to escape with her life here. She's a mother, for God's sake, you know what I mean? I know Rhea Ripley is mommy, but Becky Lynch is a mother. I mean, it's not what. Jeez, it's not good, but Becky Lynch, no matter. Anyways, fire back and he's a manhandle slam. Right to Rhea Ripley. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, Rhea Ripley finds a way to kick out. Becky Lynch doesn't quite believe it. Jeez, Becky Lynch is trying everything at this point to try and get rid of mommy. Somehow get rid of Rhea Ripley. Just try to win the match and to try to survive. And Rhea Ripley is taking everything Becky is giving and just dishing out so much more. From Rhea Ripley. Jeez. Oh, Becky Lynch. I think she's trying to... I don't know here. I think Becky Lynch is panicking right now with Rhea Ripley there. She knows that she probably can't escape down. So Becky Lynch is trying to play this right. I don't think she knows fully yet. She didn't want to dangle her foot there right in front of Rhea Ripley. She sees Rhea Ripley coming. Becky Lynch. Jeez. I think, I don't know, like I said, she doesn't want to dangle her feet, but I think she's just planning on just escaping at this point. But Rhea, geez, maybe Rhea's lost her balance a little bit here. Maybe she's not quite the most agile superstar, but geez, Rhea Ripley nonetheless. Jeez, that's a little bit of a stare down there. I wasn't quite sure what either of them wanted to do, and I think it kind of showed there a little bit of a standoff. Not quite sure what either one wanted to do. But nonetheless, Rhea Ripley now, geez, just sends Becky Lynch careening back down. But like I said, Rhea Ripley. Oh, but geez. Oh no, Becky Lynch counts that one. Rhea Ripley's definitely at a moment. She's definitely having to learn how to balance on these ropes. It's not her style. Even like heading to the top rope, yet alone springboards. A little bit more Becky's forte. There we go. He's Becky Lynch. I swear there's like a twat in there. But Becky Lynch locking in that disarm and looking to disarm Rhea Ripley. She's always just the disarm her, but it's actually the disarm her because she just disarmed Rhea Ripley, but Becky Lynch just having to let go, realising that Rhea Ripley's just not going to tap. Also, Becky Lynch probably learned a thing or two from springboards from her husband, Seth Rollins, who's very, very good at them. No, Dom not too bad. Rhea Ripley maybe learning from him a little bit, but Seth Rollins maybe a little better. But Dominic did learn from one of the best, though. He might be trying to forget his teaching out of spite, of course. The great Rey Mysterio being Dominic's father. Becky Lynch is yet again just trying to escape the grasp of Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley, she's trying to chase the cage like that, but not quite happening there. And Rhea Ripley now looking to just climb now. Becky Lynch, I think she's just like forgetting all those games and all the possibilities. I think she just trying to keep her feet away at this point. She's just trying to get out of the cage here. But nonetheless, Rhea Ripley, geez, making her way over. And Rhea now. What is Rhea doing? I think Rhea is just toying with Becky Lynch at the minute. Becky Lynch, she's not really looking. She's trying to get her footing in while also keeping an eye on Rhea Ripley. Has proven she can't seem to quite get it. She's not quite scuffing it. And Rhea Ripley just toying with Becky Lynch now. Rhea Ripley's enjoying this. Jeez, Rhea Ripley's making the veteran look like a pussy a little bit. She's making the veteran look weak. making it look scared. Rhea Ripley seems like the veteran right now. Jeez, just sent her Becky Lynch flying off after that, bouncing her head off that cage. And Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley standing on top. Rhea! Oh, jeez, the splash there. Jeez, clearly Rhea's the one that's got in Becky Lynch's head, but it's not through mind games, it's just through pure fucking intimidation. Jeez, that Becky Lynch goes right off that cage. Jeez. Pushing the forehead is Becky Lynch. Jeez. And Becky just gets bounced out of that corner now. Jeez. Rhea Ripley just free what to do whatever she wants with Becky Lynch. I think, jeez, especially at that high risk, high reward, and it definitely worked out for Rhea Ripley. Did not end so poorly for her, like it very much could have done jumping off that cage. Jeez, now just getting to lay in on Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch is just feel like she's losing this match in every kind of way, physically, mentally. Like I said, just only more Seth Rollins has started to win the match mentally, but like I said, I think it's just a pure intimidation factor and just how pissed off Rhea is. Like I said, he's still able to toy with Becky Lynch, sorry. I don't know, but I think she's done messing around now. I think she's through playing around. I think she's just looking to end this. Looking to end Becky Lynch right now. Jeez, just laying in those shots right to the face. And more so. Jeez. And more so. Rhea Ripley just letting out the aggression. Look at the bruises of Rhea Ripley's face after just taking the cage earlier on tonight. Jeez, boof. And Rhea Ripley now, oh jeez. Is that blood on the mat? I think that's Becky's, because I saw a shot of Rhea's face and Rhea's doing okay. She's not bleeding as far as I'm aware. I think that's Becky Lynch just bleeding. In fact, the amount of times her face has gone into that steel cage and all these kicks and all these punches, I'm not surprised. And being dropped on her face a bunch. Jeez, and the woman handling Rhea Ripley just shaking her around. I wouldn't be surprised if the blood's been shaken loose a little bit, you know what I mean? Just shaking all around Becky Lynch's head, just points her just like rushing all to her head at the same time. Rhea Ripley now just showing the domination. Jeez. Right to Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley now showing the domination, even though she is the less experienced. Oof. She has got the control in this match, especially now. Becky Lynch hasn't been able to do anything in a while. She's just been taking damage at this point. And not like she's been really surviving. Jeez. Rhea Ripley just getting out her aggression at this point. That's what she's doing. She's not even planning on winning this match, but I don't think she's looking to get the aggression out. Jeez. And Rhea Ripley yet again. That next chair face plunges, getting Becky Lynch tied up on all the ropes. She goes down. Jeez. But now Rhea Ripley picking up Becky Lynch for a riptide right to Becky. Jeez, but Rhea Ripley, she ain't done with Becky Lynch quite just yet. Jeez, Becky Lynch being picked up again for another riptide. Oh yeah, it is Becky. I can see her bust open on her right there. 1, surely this is it. 2. Hang on a minute, Rhea Ripley's just let go. Rhea Ripley is not done with Becky Lynch just yet. And now just dragging Becky Lynch into the corner. What's Rhea got in store for Becky here? I have no idea. Jeez, Rhea. What's Rhea got in store for here? Oh, reminiscent Night Champions. I mentioned it. I think it's the same corner as well. Rhea Ripley, the avalanche rip. Tied right to Becky Lynch. Goes for that cover. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley vindicated here tonight, getting all that aggression out here tonight.
Here's your winner, Rhea Ripley.
Well, congratulations to Rhea Ripley for getting her revenge, getting the win here tonight in tonight's main event in a steel cage match, no doubt. Anyways, thanks for watching SmackDown, and hopefully I'll see you for Raw.